What's up? It's your boy Stevie83 and I'm back with another react. You know what I'm saying? Today we're reacting to, well, it's more of a Sunday special. We're going to have an hour-long Sunday special. So if you're not ready for it, get ready for it. Get you some popcorn, some snacks, a big soda. Use the bathroom first so you don't have to take no breaks. We're going to get into this. This is the most disturbing disasters iceberg. These are icebergs, 7, 8 levels. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Bring your snorkel gear because we're going in.
Oh my God.
Viewer discretion is advised. If you're not 13 years of age or older, get your mom so she can like the video too. Let's go.
Claimer.
Remind me, chat,
Level
to put
1.
a smack
Man in a
on
relationship
my
with his
thing.
car.
I need a slap.
Nathaniel, a 27-year-old Arkansas resident, appeared on the show to discuss his romantic relationship with Chase, his red
No
1998 Chevy
way.
Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo at that?
The episode delved deep into the extent of Nathaniel's objectophilia,
Look at this
a psychological
boy.
condition where individuals develop strong
Man.
emotional and romantic attachments to inanimate objects. Nathaniel described his first encounter with Chase at a car resale lot in 2005 as love at first sight, saying that Chase's body and interior and everything just together seemed to fit, leading to what he described as an instant connection.
We have our times when we get...
Does that feel good? You're a handsome man. Love you, baby.
Of course, that quickly escalated into something far more intimate. The episode showed Nathaniel engaging in behaviors that crossed serious boundaries of typical human-object interaction. He would kiss and caress the vehicle, describing how he would lean over his fender and across his hood, and press up against him and rub against him. He started treating Chase like a traditional romantic partner, taking him on dates to scenic lookout areas, purchasing gifts for him, and even keeping photographs of the car on his work computer, which is kind of sweet in a weird sort of way.
If something were ever to happen to Chase, my heart would just stop. I just have to gather myself here. I'm sorry for all that.
He's fake.
But Nathaniel's attachment to
This is
Chase
skit.
dominated his daily life in ways that concerned those around him. His roommate Kim expressed worry about the social implications of his behavior, noting that it's not normal and that people might not understand and make fun of you. To make matters worse, Nathaniel rarely allowed others to drive Chase and became visibly distressed when separated from the vehicle for more than 24 hours. In 2023, TLC revisited Nathaniel's story.
Let's get this straight. I ain't letting nobody borrow my car for 24 hours either. You're not taking my stuff for 24 hours. What? I might let you bang it up to the store and back, but that's it.
Only to discover that Chase had been destroyed in an accident during routine maintenance. The loss devastated Nathaniel, who kept mementos of Chase in his bedroom, including a blanket covered with photographs of their time together. He described the loss as breaking his heart, saying, "I still think about it a lot, and it just breaks my heart that he's not here." But Nathaniel did fall in love again with a black Lexus ES330 named Lex. Unlike Chase, who Nathaniel
Lex.
identified as male, Lex is female, and he's attracted to her lights and curved appeal, noting her cute little cheeks and beautiful headlights and tail lights.
Oh my.
I think it's fair to say that he has a type. Addicted to dating grandmas. Kyle is 31 years old and refuses to date anyone under 65.
That's
although
crazy.
He's willing to go all the way up to 91 years old. Yes,
That's
91.
wow, bro.
In the episode, Kyle's friend sets him up with an age-appropriate girl, but it's obvious right away
He
that
don't
Kyle
want
is
that.
just not into her. For one thing, he's already thinking about how beautiful her grandmother must be. But also, he's just not into young women at all. Kyle ends up going on a dinner date with a woman he meets online, Karen, who's more than twice his age. When she arrives, Kyle eagerly compliments how gorgeous she is without hesitation. It's pretty obvious that Karen
Look at that.
has never...
Look at that. Could you? Men above 63 Could you be this? Could you wake up with this every night? And mind you now, this is with makeup on. Come on, bro. This is with makeup on.
Been on a date with someone so young, but Kyle doesn't care at all. Throughout the show, Kyle is constantly talking about older women as being beautiful, desirable,
You gotta
and
oil that
valuable.
up before you
He
get in
insists
there.
that there's no monetary interest for him, only the genuine attraction to an older woman. And honestly, the episode really suggests that to be the case.
I love everything about older women. I love the smell. I love the feel.
What?
I love the mentality.
Every time he encounters a woman,
So you like
even
the
one he isn't
wrinkles, bro.
romantically
Come on,
interested in,
man.
He's completely unashamed of his attraction, and he's extremely kind and generous to everyone, regardless of whether or not he's into them. Which means a lot to Karen, who says
He couldn't have had a mom or something.
that she doesn't get to feel desirable like this very often. Kyle brings Karen home, and that's where it starts to get intimate. The cameras do eventually
On the
cut away.
first
thank you.
night?
Then we meet Kyle's ex, Jackie,
Grandma
who is
loose.
too young for him. She's 61 years old, and she has 3 children, all of them older than Kyle.
Bruh,
Even though
what?
they're not together, they're still on very good terms with one another.
We just seem to get along so well.
He's
Even when I was
spanking
dating
that.
whoever and dating whoever, we seem to always come home to each other.
Considering that most episodes of My Strange Addiction are one way or another built to
This
make
is
you
wild.
pity or judge
Like,
the
I
people
ain't
involved,
never seen no stuff
This is one of
like
the rare
this.
episodes where you kind of admire the main addict. Kyle is just a cool guy who knows what he likes. He makes these women feel good about themselves, and it also serves his own interests and desire. And frankly, as I get older, it's a nice lesson to know that with age does not come a loss in value. Married
I mean, there's
to a
people
carnival
value
ride.
your family and stuff like that,
Linda
but I
lives in
can
Tampa
swear
with her
that's fake.
husband of 3 years, but Bruce isn't exactly what you'd expect him to be. You see, Bruce is a 70-foot tall skydiver carnival ride made entirely of steel and cables. So yeah, kind of a unique guy.
I don't want him to be a human. I don't want him to have those traits. I'm just happy with this hunk of steel that's shaped into being this beautiful shining star.
Linda first
Man,
encountered
she's
Bruce in
tripping.
1981, though at the time she was romantically involved with a train. In fact, her previous relationships included an airplane and that train, which cost her a job when coworkers discovered her in a romantic embrace with the locomotive.
Oh my
Not a
gosh,
sentence
she
I ever
got
expected
fired
to say.
for it.
Linda identifies as objectum romantic, meaning she develops deep emotional and romantic connections with inanimate objects. She sees Bruce as her soulmate,
Jesus,
complete
man.
with personality and consciousness. After working for the carnival to stay close to Bruce, she watched helplessly when a powerful storm toppled him over, sending him away for repairs in Kansas. The separation devastated Linda, but she never gave up hope. She placed a promise coin with Bruce before he left, ensuring they would always be together. Years later, a friend found an advertisement selling Bruce, and Linda purchased him within 24 hours of learning he was available.
How much?
A reunion was everything she had dreamed of.
I gotta
but
know how
Bruce
much.
came with significant problems. Linda has invested over $90,000 attempting to restore Bruce to working condition, though he still requires thousands more in repairs. She describes their relationship like an old married couple, complete with candlelit dinners in her garage where Bruce's parts are stored. Linda can now spend entire nights touching the pieces of Bruce that she can physically reach, so it
Man.
feels like they're always together.
But when I wasn't with Bruce, I did have a relationship with this skydiver behind me. Yes, I did. And we were close.
Of course, the financial commitment continues mounting while Bruce remains inoperable, but Linda conducted a commitment ceremony binding herself to Bruce, flesh to steel,
She
like a
married-
non-denominational preacher. It did cost her a relationship with her mother, who objected to her daughter marrying a piece of steel for religious reasons. But
Hey,
Linda chose
he's
Bruce over
definitely
her
a
own
hunk.
family, saying that Bruce is and has always been her beautiful shining star.
He's definitely a hunk.
The
That's
man
for
who is
sure. A hunk
sexually
of junk.
attracted to balloons.
What?
Julius's addiction became clear when he was 4 years old. A nurse popped his cherished balloon and he sobbed through the night.
Popped his
But from that
cherished
moment, the sound
balloon.
of a balloon deflating became unbearable, and objects themselves became his sole source of comfort,
This
even in the
bro's
most
lost.
intimate ways.
They're beautiful. They're soft, smooth, delicate. I have a connection.
He's in love with balloons.
Sometimes I wonder if it's my love for them that brings them to life.
Today, Julius wakes up every morning in a room lined wall to wall with balloons. He can't drift off unless they cocoon
He ain't
him
as
on
bad
all
as
sides.
the last lady
Categorizes
that
them
married
by
the
shape
dang
and translucence
Ferris
and
wheel.
admits these spherical ones stir his deepest and most lusty responses, though he can't pinpoint why. Might need some therapy to unpack that one. Over 5 decades, his attachment has never waned. He's described a very visceral reaction when he inflates one. His heart flutters, his palms sweat, and he feels a rush of pleasure that he says is pure bliss.
My love for balloons, it's also a love. When I see a beautiful balloon, my heart starts to flutter and I get aroused. I'm holding one, hugging it, I'll kiss it. And it's like being in heaven.
When the TLC cameras came, he was more than willing to show how he handles the newest balloons, stroking its surface, pressing it against his face, and pressing his lips to the rubber as though, well, I don't think I have to spell it out for you. He also strangely dedicates himself to rescuing stray balloons. He prowls car dealerships at dawn, gathering deflated or sun-baked specimens before they crack and burst under the heat. He brings these wounded balloons back to life in his home, restoring their shape and gloss
that's
before
a good
adding them
man.
to the ranks of his collection.
We're glad you
Over
did that for us, man. Them
50,000
balloons, man. I couldn't live without them.
Despite the intense nature of his
Couldn't live without
fixation,
'em.
Julius lives a quiet life with his wife, who accepts the sanctuary but
man, he's
declines
married.
to take part in the
So he's a
filming
cheater.
whatsoever.
He's a cheater.
The only other person aware of the depths of his obsession is his friend and his nephew, an addiction counselor,
Now damn near everybody on the internet.
who gently challenges Julius to consider seeking help.
You ever think that maybe there's something wrong?
Nope.
Have you ever thought
Nope.
about going and talking to somebody about it?
I don't have a problem.
Right.
So why be concerned?
Julius acknowledges the concern, but insists his routine causes no harm and will not change.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Level 2. Addicted to laxatives. Kimberly
Oh
was
my,
15
this is a
when she
messy
discovered
situation.
laxatives as a solution to the dreaded
She's
freshman
addicted-
15 weight
addiction.
gain that plagued her
She's
first year of
addicted
college.
to laxatives?
Her roommate suggested the pills as a quick fix, and
It's a
she
shitty
got
situation.
hooked. The more she took, the better the results seemed, so she kept increasing the dosage
She
until
just-
she was swallowing around 150 laxatives per day. Sometimes reaching
150 a
250 on particularly desperate
Bro,
days.
what?
I take laxatives probably about 10 times a day or more. On average,
10
I
times
probably
a
take
day,
about
10
150 a day. The
10
most was
every time.
Probably around 250.
10
At 6 feet tall,
Man,
Kimberly
10
now weighs
ills
between 105
10
and
times a day.
108
That's
pounds,
crazy.
having lost approximately
Laxatives?
50 pounds since she began this regimen. The pills have become her primary source of nutrition control, suppressing her appetite while forcing her body into a constant state of evacuation. She deliberately avoids reading warning labels because she doesn't want to know what the medication is doing to her body, but the physical toll manifests in disturbing ways. Her stomach produces strange growling noises, and she
she
frequently
got it.
vomits the pills
Damn.
back up immediately after taking them. She cannot leave her house for extended periods because she must remain close to a bathroom at all times.
I've almost completely isolated myself from everyone. I just want to be at home and take my laxatives and be near the bathroom. At this point, I have to take them to be regular.
And the dependency has progressed beyond weight control. She now requires the laxatives just to have regular bowel movements.
She's hooked.
Her family watches
She's
helplessly as she isolates herself, pushing away anyone who expresses concern about her weight or eating habits.
She's
When her mother
hooked, man.
suggests she needs to eat more, Kimberly deflects with vague promises that she's trying to do something about it while concealing the true extent of her consumption.
Man, I
The
was
breaking
out
point
there
came
too,
during the
man.
middle of
Any addiction is an addiction. And we got the hotline right here for it. If you're addicted, please call and get help. There is help out there. If you hit this hotline, you will get help.
the night emergency room visit when she began vomiting blood. Doctors pumped her stomach and discovered bleeding ulcers, warning her that continued use could prove fatal.
Her cells are already ravaged. As she keeps doing
Wonder
it,
if she
the body
withdraws.
has less and less ability to recover.
And you should get to the point where you really don't need the laxatives at all.
Okay.
She considered their advice for approximately 1 day before resuming her routine. The laxatives have become more essential to her daily functioning than food itself.
Wow.
Since the episode aired, Kimberly has confirmed that she did quit taking laxatives, finding a healthier way to handle
Probably
her weight.
lying.
Also, folks, if you or someone you know is dealing with an eating disorder, please seek
Call.
help.
Get help.
Only eats 100% raw meat.
Ew,
Weston Rowe's
God.
addiction sees him following a diet that consists solely
Raw
of
meat.
uncooked flesh, convinced that
How
raw
is that
meat
not
retains
making you
nutrients
sick?
destroyed by cooking. He shops for premium cuts like ribeye, chicken breast, organ
That's
meats,
just full
and
of worms,
consumes up
ain't
to 2
it?
pounds each day, believing that the enzymes and vitamins remain intact in their natural state, and that this
my.
primal regimen cleared his chronic skin rashes and lifted the fog from his mind.
It can feel like very primal. After I eat it, I get this urge to just kind of like howl like a wolf, you know, just like, you know?
His mother, however, is terrified.
Oh,
Weston's
my.
addiction came after he suffered from an unknown illness with bizarre symptoms. He became so ill that he collapsed after a major seizure, shattering his jaw in 3 places and
Wonder
cracking
why.
12 teeth. With no clear diagnosis and no way forward, he began looking for his own solution
Because
and
you're an
found the
idiot.
raw meat diet, which he claims has cured his mysterious illness.
Even
Since
his
then,
dog
he ate
looking
raw
like,
meat
what
for
are you
years,
doing,
3 or
dude?
4 pounds a day with no apparent side effects.
3 or 4 pounds of raw meat.
We eat raw meat every meal here, and I do about 2 pounds a day, so about, I'd say 14 pounds a week.
However, in the clinic, Dr. Mark Shearer examined Weston's stool sample and discovered an abnormal strain of E. coli not normally
See,
present in
now
the
he's
human
got E.
gut.
coli.
He warned that this is
Dummy.
all it takes. 1 serving of raw chicken or beef could be the thing to kill him.
And unfortunately, all it takes is 1 serving of chicken, 1 serving of beef, 1 serving of neurologic tissue, brains, eyeballs, that could tip him over the edge and have serious complications.
But, as is typical in this show, there's no sign that Weston even considered
Nah,
changing his
they ain't
ways.
quitters.
He hasn't suffered any side effects or illnesses, which will only really embolden him to continue going. That's very bad news for his mother, who's obviously distressed about the situation and
That
just wants her
sucks.
son to be healthy and happy. Weston does compromise a bit, however. Just to make sure he's getting a balanced diet, he makes sure everyone knows that he does also eat fruit. Just in case you were concerned about that, that's for you.
That's a nice looking steak,
Plastic
for real.
surgery addict. At one time, Lacey Wild was an A-cup. Then she discovered plastic
A?
surgery. Now she's transformed her body through at least 30 plastic surgery procedures, spending over
Oh, chicken bites.
$250,000 in pursuit of what she calls
Man,
the most
her old man
extreme
must
body
be
in the
loaded,
world.
huh?
Pretty sure she has that.
250 bands on them things?
I have 6 wonderful children,
6
and it's taken me
kids?
$250,000 to build the most extreme plastic body in the world.
Her
Yeah,
breasts
you
now
probably
weigh
shoulda got that
42
thing.
pounds combined, requiring her to
shrunk
sleep
up
propped
a little
at
bit in there.
30-degree angle to avoid suffocation. She has to be careful
33
around the
degree angle
stovetop
so they
in
don't
case her
suffocate
chest
you.
catches on fire. She currently wears a triple L bra size achieved through tissue expanders.
I didn't
that
even
allow
know they went up
doctors to
that
gradually
high in the
stretch her
alphabet.
skin.
Did y'all?
But supporting this extreme modification required surgeons to sew pigskin into her abdomen and install an internal bra system. The physical limitations have become severe. Wild cannot run due to
They
the bouncing
sewed
motion,
an internal
struggles to
bra
find clothing
system
that
into
fits,
her
and cannot
boobs.
tie her own shoes.
They're so
Her
big.
appearance on My Strange Addiction revealed her desire to undergo another surgery to achieve triple Q-sized implants.
Oh my
I'm here at the
God,
plastic
triple
surgeon's. I'm
Q?
hoping that a surgeon's going to tell me what all I need to do to get my triple Qs.
Despite
Well, come
the
on, man.
obvious
You're
health
dumb as
risks and
shit,
family
bruh.
concerns, Lacey has expressed that she wants to continue pushing the boundaries of body modification. She sees herself as working toward becoming the adult Barbie and describes her philosophy as plastic makes perfect.
You're not even close, lady.
Woman
not even
eats
close.
cat hair.
Not even
Lisa
close.
is 43 years old and
Oh
lives in
my
Detroit, Michigan.
God.
15 years ago, she began picking up loose cat hair around
She
her apartment
eats
and
loose
chewing
cat
it to
hair.
feel closer to her
Ew.
pets. At first, it was
Ew.
just to gather stray tufts from
Ew.
behind the couch or off the carpet. But after adopting a new
I'm
kitten,
sorry,
her
guys. I might
curiosity
not make
turned
it all the way
into
through
full-blown
this.
compulsion.
God, my
Now,
stomach's
she can't go
hurting.
more than 2 hours without a fix.
I kind of look at
She
it.
can't go 2 hours without eating cat hair.
Kind of break it apart and then just put it in my mouth.
Stupid.
She breaks apart the soft, downy clumps, rolls them
I
into
couldn't
loose
be
balls,
with, man.
and puts them in
Imagine
her
you
mouth.
found that out. Okay, listen. Imagine you go on a date, right? You got this lady sitting down. You thinking she's all right looking, talking to her. The conversation's a little bit good, you know. You go to order something to eat, order some drinks. You order a steak, and you let her order. She said, "No, I'm good. I brought my own." She pulls out a big ass pack of cat hair at the table.
Chews them briefly, sometimes removing them
And
to
I
play
go
with the
crazy.
fibers before
I'd
swallowing.
flip
She
out.
even keeps hair stashes in Ziploc bags and scavages around every corner of the
Keeps it in
apartment for any
Ziploc bags
stray
and
strands.
stashes it around her
Eating
house.
cat hair is one thing, but she doesn't
Where's the
stop
cat?
at stray hair. She grooms her cat with her own tongue, mimicking a mother cat cleaning her kittens, stopping short of more sensitive areas like paws and the litter box region.
Yeah,
She
right.
views this
She
as
probably
a
do that
bonding
off
ritual.
stream.
When her cat needed help after surgery, she began tongue grooming, and it quickly turned into another way to collect fresh hair.
It ain't gonna be long. She
Two
gonna eat
birds,
that
one
thing.
stone. For concerned loved ones worry about
her
intestinal
old man.
blockages and
You
long-term
stupid
damage
ass.
from ingesting dense
You
fur,
dumb,
and dermatologists and addiction experts have warned her about risks, but Lisa insists she has never experienced any
look at that
adverse
big
effects,
clump of hair in
so
her
therefore
belly.
It can't possibly be a problem.
Wow,
right?
bro.
Lisa calculates that she has
at
ingested
that.
thousands of hairballs over the years, yet she still sees her habit as harmless.
Oh my
Every 2
goodness,
hours, her
bro.
craving resurfaces, and
This
she
got
turns
me.
to the same unsettling routine.
I feel sorry for
Gather,
these people.
chew,
They need
swallow,
help.
Repeat. And meow.
But damn, they're dumb,
One
ain't
thing
they?
that she doesn't do, subscribe. And that is a real
Exactly.
problem for her.
Do it.
Fortunately,
84% of y'all are not subscribed. Y'all do the math.
you can avoid that fate by hitting that subscribe button now. On to the
Exactly.
next level. Now, one thing she doesn't do is subscribe to our channel, but you can. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll always know when we drop a new video. On to the next level. Level 3. Addicted to eating cat food.
Oh,
Mary's
man, come
obsession
on.
with cat food began 5 years ago when her marriage collapsed, leaving her
Dry
isolated
or
at home
hard
with
is
only
the
her
question.
3 cats for company.
Dry or
Well,
hard?
she needed a hobby. Mary, a 48-year-old unemployed woman from Michigan, now consumes an
Unemployed.
estimated 900 cat treats every single day, along with
900
multiple
cat
cans
treats
of
a
wait
day?
cat food.
That's
Some
a
days
lot,
she
ain't
replaces
it?
human food entirely with cat food, describing the
Now, who's
experience
buying
as
that if she
treats
don't
that
got a job? She
burst
married?
with flavor
I hope
in your
she's
mouth,
married.
which sounds suspiciously like
'Cause
something
I
a
hope
cat would say.
taxpayers' food
She's
stamps are
consumed
not
over
paying
1
for that
million
cat food.
treats since her addiction began, spending $200 monthly on cat food for herself, despite having no income.
Cat probably don't even
I
get
kinda
none.
don't want to know how she's paying for it. Mary's consumption extends beyond dry treats to wet cat food, which she claims tastes like chicken soup, just like Grandma used to make. She squeezes the spoon against the
Man.
bag to collect the gravy at the bottom, savoring every drop. Her brother calls the habit gross,
I don't know if I'm gonna make
insisting
it,
there are
guys.
4 basic food groups and cat treats are
The
not
deeper
one
in the
of them.
water I get,
Treats
the
should
more I
not
feel like
exceed
I'm
10%
going under.
of a cat's total daily calorie requirement.
I've been eating them for so long, and I'm fine. I mean, how could
I
they
know,
be
but
hurting
I
me?
think it's getting out of control a bit.
Oh yeah, well.
When Mary finally saw a
She's
doctor,
eating it
she
now.
was warned that cat food contains byproducts, carcinogens, and antibiotics that could prove fatal. The examination revealed she was likely anemic with elevated blood pressure that could
Oh,
indicate
my.
kidney problems. In fact, cat food packages clearly state not for human consumption, yet Mary dismisses these warnings, claiming she feels fine despite years of this diet. Her therapist identified the root cause as loneliness and isolation following her divorce, comparing her behavior to alcoholism and how she hides her addiction. Mary eventually agreed to enter a 12-step program, though the show indicates mixed success in breaking her dangerous compulsion. It's
Yeah,
not as
that it's
tasty
hard
as
to
a bowl
break.
of tuna,
Once you got
that's
it,
for
you
sure.
gotta. The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Addicted to bee stings. Margaret's arthritis pain
Addicted
was
to bee
debilitating,
stings?
leaving her struggling with daily tasks
on.
and
She
desperate
goes out
for
hunting
relief.
them down so they
She had
sting her.
read about bee venom's anti-inflammatory properties and decided to try what
That's
seemed like
crazy.
an alternative folk remedy. The first time she brought a bee into her house and deliberately stung herself, she was surprised by two things. It didn't hurt as much as expected, and the next day, she could move easily. Well, that's all it took.
The first time that I stung myself, it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would. And it just got easier every time.
Margaret now stings herself up to 15 times per day, targeting
She
her
stings
hips,
herself
elbows,
15
fingers,
times a
ankles,
day.
forehead, and even the tip of her nose. She has accumulated over 50,000 bee stings in the past decade, using tweezers to grab bees and press them against her skin until they inject their venom into her veins. Margaret maintains beehives in her backyard specifically to fuel her habit, and has even developed preferences, choosing older bees to feel less guilt about killing them. At one point, Margaret admits that when she hasn't had a sting for a while, she becomes cranky, and she credits the bee venom with improving her mood and enhancing her intimate relationship. Which means that this woman who once sought relief from arthritis pain now depends on bee stings for emotional regulation, which is even more concerning. Every day she kills 15 bees and risks potentially life-threatening allergic reactions, all for a bit of relief. Woman addicted to eating sand. Bria appears to be a typical 19-year-old, but she's not. Her day.
All right, gotta let it cool down there, and I gotta take a break. I'm halfway. I could use that battery. I need to get a battery where I can just I need to get a battery charger pack that I could just sit this in and charge it.
Make a pose first up.
All right, no talking, guys. I'm going back in.
Daily routine involves consuming sand from playgrounds, parks, and beaches up to 6 times per day.
I'm addicted to eating sand. I just love the crunch. I eat it when I go to my room, when I'm
That's
working in
crazy.
class,
She
when I'm
eats
reading
sand
a book.
all
Her
day
addiction
long.
began 5 years earlier when she accidentally got a mouthful of sand at the beach and was instantly hooked on the crunchy texture. Now she collects her preferred sand from specific locations, removing the larger rocks and debris before consumption, and enjoys.
My favorite sand is actually the sand from the playground or a park. It's natural, it's straight from the earth, it's really good and it's really crunchy.
She treats sand like a seasoning, sprinkling it on tortilla chips and other foods to achieve what she describes as the best crunch she's ever experienced. She particularly enjoys mixing sand with gum, calling the combination mouth-watering. Before bed, she places a pinch of sand in her mouth, and when she wakes up, pieces remain lodged between her teeth like leftovers. When her sand supply runs low, Bria turns to nail files, chewing on their sandpaper-like surfaces to satisfy her cravings for that specific gritty texture. She positions these files against the back of her teeth, grinding them to simulate the sensation she gets from sand consumption. If that sounds like a terrible idea, that's because it absolutely is.
It's facts.
The behavior has escalated to the point where she consumes sand at every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, treating it as an essential dietary component. She does eventually agree to see a doctor.
Bria needs to stop eating sand. The sands around her could be contaminated with bacterial, parasitic, and viral infections, some of which could be potentially life-threatening.
But you just know that it's not something she's ever going to consider changing. At least, not until she has to see a dentist about the damage she's done to her teeth.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Level 4. Addiction to taxidermy. Divya Anantharaman spent her evening cruising Brooklyn streets with one purpose: finding animals.
And I'm addicted to taxidermy.
And I love finding
How can you
animals
even be
and stuffing
addicted
them.
to that?
The 28-year-old fashion designer has literally turned roadkill hunting into a full-time obsession, dedicating entire days and nights to scouring sidewalks, parks, and roadsides for fresh corpses.
That's crazy.
When the cameras
Hey, at
arrived,
least
her
she's not
800
eating
square
this
foot
stuff,
apartment
you know?
had become a makeshift morgue, housing
At
over
least she's doing
50
her
stuffed
work.
creatures in various
That's a
stages
craft,
of
though.
decay and preservation. The addiction started, innocently enough, 4 years earlier when she discovered a dead mouse and couldn't resist cutting it open. Something about inspecting the tiny body, understanding how it worked, triggered an insatiable need that would eventually consume her life. She began collecting specimens from beaches, under bushes, anywhere she could find dead animal corpses.
That's crazy.
The more decomposed, the better the challenge.
But like I
the
said,
more
at least she's not
satisfying the
eating them like the
victory.
last people,
There's
right?
things everywhere you'll find them. I try to look under bushes or, through sort of thick parts where people don't really go, sort of where an animal would
The
go
last
to die.
people were just straight
But her
eating it.
refrigerator was on another level. Alongside her beer and vegetables sat plastic bags
Beer and
containing
vegetables.
future projects. Dead mice, birds, whatever she'd managed to retrieve from the streets. She kept a freezer specifically for her growing collection, treating roadkill with the same care others might reserve for groceries.
She
The
blow
apartment
Janet's
reeked of
hair like
chemicals and death, but Vivian
style
had
you
stopped
up.
noticing. The health risks are obvious, right? Dead animals carry rabies, bird flu, and countless other
Exactly.
diseases that transfer easily to humans through handling. She developed a system for inspecting fresh finds, checking eyes for maggots, looking for signs of advanced decomposition, but the dangers didn't deter her from continuing. Every day brought new specimens to process, skin, and melt.
Like,
Her
this ain't as
relationships
crazy as
couldn't
the other
survive
ones.
the obsession.
The other ones were
Boyfriends
pretty
who initially
crazy.
found her hobby quirky soon realized they were competing with corpses for her attention, and she chose taxidermy over human connection repeatedly, spending 12 hours daily working on her collection while potential partners walked away.
I've definitely had a boyfriend who's been like, you can't have your taxidermy thing going. So I was given the ultimatum of him or taxidermy, and I chose taxidermy.
The isolation only deepened her
Your dude can't
dependence
even
on the
keep
dead
you from
animals
doing
that
it.
surrounded her. But I guess on the one hand, those dead animals aren't going to go anywhere, right? So at least she won't ever be
they ain't going
heartbroken
nowhere.
unless she finds
They're
a
never
live
going to talk
one.
to you either. Or put that meat on you. You know what I'm saying?
Addicted to eating drywall.
This is the crazy one.
Nicole first tasted drywall when she was grieving her mother's death, drawn initially by the smell of the chalky white material that lined her Detroit home. Now she breaks through the walls of her residence 6 times each day, methodical away pieces to satisfy cravings that override every rational thought about consequences.
That's crazy.
I love the smell of drywall, the texture of it, the taste. I love everything about drywall.
That's
Nicole devours up to 3 square feet of drywall weekly, adding up to over
3
93
feet.
square meters of wall material
3 feet
over her
a
addiction's
week.
duration. Her house resembles a construction site under demolition.
Anybody
with
that
gaping
needs
holes
to take out
scattered
some
throughout rooms
drywall,
where she
hire this
systematically
lady. She'll
harvested
eat
chunks
it
of
up.
gypsum and paper.
No
It's
pun
kind of like
intended.
a chalky taste, and I probably eat about this much a day.
The destruction extends beyond her own property as she ventures into friends' and relatives' homes, leaving behind a trail of damaged walls everywhere she goes.
That's
I mean, at the
wild,
very least,
man.
couldn't you just buy a slab at the hardware store as if you were grocery shopping instead of destroying your friends' and family's homes?
No
Maybe
doubt,
she shouldn't,
right?
because drywall contains materials used in construction that pose cancer risks when ingested regularly. The dust alone can irritate eyes, skin, and lungs, causing coughing, sneezing, and nosebleeds. An extended exposure can lead to breathing difficulties and
crazy.
pneumonia. Nicole's body endures constant exposure to these hazards as she consumes pounds of processed wall monthly. Despite understanding the dangers, Nicole remains
how could
unapologetic
you
about her
do
habit,
that?
declaring she no longer feels compelled to hide her addiction.
Eating drywall? Are you serious?
Yes.
This is not some kind of joke.
No joke.
He's like, what
Her
the?
neighbors have responded by actively preventing her from entering their
Unc's
homes,
like, what the
fearing for their
hell?
own walls. They have to take action to try and protect the structural integrity of their own houses from a hungry
She
woman.
stuck some in her pocket. Like, I'm taking this one.
Addicted to injections. Carmelo, a 23-year-old mother with a 4-year-old son,
She
has
needs
undergone
that.
54
Woo,
buttock
charged
injections over
up.
3
She
years
was at
without
BBL.
ever consulting a licensed plastic surgeon. The episode reveals how she receives these procedures in hotel rooms and residential locations from unlicensed practitioners who operate entirely outside medical oversight.
Ooh,
in
how
fact,
could you
the woman
even trust
administering
that?
these injections keeps her substances in large bowls, claiming they contain liquid silicone, though Carmelo admits she has no way to verify what's actually being pumped into her body.
The woman who does give the injections, I don't know what her background is like. We meet different places, sometimes in a hotel room. She keep the liquid in a big bowl. The woman says it's liquid silicone, but I don't know for sure.
The reality proves far more disturbing
Ooh,
than
you're
Carmelo
putting
realizes.
silicone in your
Court
butt?
documents later revealed that her injection provider was using industrial-grade materials purchased from hardware stores, including metal lubricant and
No
cement.
way, man.
Nearly 2 liters of this
I'm talking about I
unregulated
got that
substance
jelly
now sits
belly.
permanently in
I got
Carmelo's
that jelly
buttocks, creating
belly.
a ticking time bomb
Look at
beneath
her.
her skin.
She's sitting
The woman
on a
performing these
cushion.
procedures had no medical background whatsoever, yet charged clients hundreds
Silicone
of
be getting
dollars
hard,
for
though,
each
sometimes.
session. Carmelo's friend Vanity serves as a living warning of what can go wrong. Vanity nearly died from the
Dang,
same
look at
black
her
market
hips.
injections, developing life-threatening complications that required emergency medical intervention.
Life-threatening.
When Vanity tries to warn Carmelo about the dangers, she reveals that their shared injection
Look at that
provider
mess.
has been indicted on federal charges for using
Damn.
industrial materials on human subjects.
Your shot, lady. She just got indicted. She was lying to you, she was lying to everybody else. Aren't you mad that she was injecting you with industrial grade silicone?
Yet Carmelo still feels compelled to return for
Nah,
more
I wanna get
procedures,
some
even
more.
knowing the risks. The
Look at this
injections
thing.
are
You see this
literally
thing I'm
sealed
dragging?
with super glue
I
rather
want
than
more.
proper medical closure techniques, and the facilities lack any sterilization protocols. Federal prosecutors have successfully convicted
Now
multiple
that's
practitioners
nasty.
across the country for similar operations, with victims suffering permanent disfigurement, systemic complications,
that's
and in
nasty.
some cases, death.
There's so many things wrong with what Carmelo had done to her. These injections can cause infection, it can cause strokes. It just takes one bad injection, and within minutes, you can die.
But this is still a very real problem, and people like Carmelo make it easy for them to find
Shit,
more
man.
and more victims.
They've been ripping her off. That's gonna do it for us today, guys, man. Leave it in the comments and let me know which one that you can relate to, or which one you, if you know anybody that did any of these crazy things. Or just drop it in the comments and let me know how you feel about what you just witnessed. But let me know. I'll see you tomorrow. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.